And I think we're live. Let's check that out. Yep, we are running. Okay, let me post the link in a few chats and then we'll get rolling. Let's see if we can track some people. Alrighty, okay. Welcome to another episode of me streaming Zooniverse.org. If you don't know what Zooniverse is, you can come on Zooniverse.org and find out. It's like a universe, but like a zoo. Basically, it's a site where you can use your brain to solve puzzles that help scientists solve real problems in the real world. So, it's something I like to do every now and then. You can check out my YouTube channel where I have all the historical videos that I've done on this. But yeah, this is mainly just to chill out. You can come ask me questions in the chat. If you want to voice chat, I'm often active in the Gridcoin Discord server. If you want to check out Gridcoin. And yeah, let's get right to it. I think actually, first thing, I have to write down how many classifications I got. I keep forgetting. Hey Toggleton. Alright, we got 4614. I'll move my mouse out of the way. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I've been doing some in the meantime, but I really just haven't had time to do some streams. What was I gonna say? I did a lot of muons, and what else did I do? I didn't do gravity spy. Oh, they've jumbled up my things, so now I don't know which one I did last. I know I did bash the bug a lot, and run herring run, and muons. Those are my favorite ones. We'll go through some of them, but I know there's a couple new projects that are coming out. And as usual, I got my tea here. Oh, and also it's summer here in Australia, so if you hear a fan in the background, that's just me trying to cool down. And also keep in mind that I might go AFK quickly to swat some bugs, because I've noticed there's a lot of mosquitoes in here. That's Australia for you. Alright, what do we have? Let's see. Herring Run was... no. Arctic Botany was the latest one that we saw, I think, in the last episode, which was just trying to transcribe stuff from things. I'm not really particularly interested in that project, but excuse me, some of the newer ones. Star Notes. So there's probably more transcription stuff. We'll just take a quick peek, see what it is. Looks like a lovely background right there. Groundbreaking work of early women astronomers. So yeah, this is a transcription project, so let's just quickly see what it's like. Classify. Yep, helping us transcribe notebooks, female astronomers at Harvard by identifying plates in these pages. Plates? You're helping modern researchers connect the discoveries of past findings with the future. Cool. Yeah, zoom tools, blah blah blah. Hard to tell whether the plate number is located on the page. Often there are many different mathematical computations on the page. Might be hard to tell which one is plate number. That's cool. Yeah, blah blah blah. Might write the series letter once and then not write the letter on the rest of the plate numbers. Blah blah blah. I'm not going to do these, so I'm just going to skip through them. But yeah, we'll see what they got. So let's zoom in for you guys. What do we have here? Aye, Captain. Got an eye here. Alright, what do they got? Let's see, they got some calculations here. I noticed the square root. I can't read cursive. This is making my eyes hurt. Yeah, but it just looks like a whole bunch of calculations. Hopefully some other people on Zooniverse are able to read cursive. Unfortunately, I can't. Toggleton says, oh wow, you have a lot of classifications. That's great. Yeah, I used to do Planet 4 Bridges as well. Yeah, it was pretty brainless, but yeah. Muons, I'll come to muons in a sec. Muons are sort of brainless. Well, I mean, I've done it so much that it's brainless for me. But yeah, so yeah, this looks like that project. Let's move to the next one. Also, we got transcribe Cooper. What's this one? Start wherever you like. Oh, hold on. I'll cover the hidden aspects of Anna Julia Cooper's life and writing. Yeah, I'm not particularly interested. It's almost complete as well. It looks basically like the one that we did before. And then we got Nest Quest. I think I've seen these before. What are they? What are they? Nest Quest. Oh, it's another transcription one. Let's try this one. Let's see what this does. So, yeah, I'm just showing. What was that? Hold on. Did you guys see that? It said what or something right here. Okay then. Yeah, blah blah blah. Okay, so it looks like we're transcribing. What is this one? This one's each nest visit. So yeah, it looks like a little scorecard that researchers would probably plug in all their data into, and we're here to transcribe it. And if you're wondering what the purpose of all this is because really you can't get computers to do this unless you have like those special computer papers where it has like the which way to read the document, like the 4 squares, and then you have like the little circles that you got to fill in. But no, often scientists have to write stuff in, and often it's a really hard transcription process after, and it's a lot cheaper to hand it off to the public to get it done rather than hiring someone, I guess. In this new day and age, it's expensive to hire people. But anyway, let's get on to some of the fun stuff. So, what do I feel like today? I don't really feel like mapping historical skies, but how far are they into these? I'm just wondering. They've still got quite a bit to do. Because that one's fun, you get to look at pictures, but with this one you get to look at fish. I think we'll do the herring run. I like the herring run. How far are they through? They're 59% complete, that's great. Now, let me zoom in for you guys. Ooh, that's probably too much. Alright, let's try that. That should be good, hopefully. Anyway, we're just clicking on fish. And with this project, they aim to see how many fish are in the image, because they want to know the behavior of herring. And if you want to come on and check this out, they have the whole page that tells you about it. So if you're wondering what the hell this project is about, then you can just come on and read about it, see what they're doing. Now, I did mention with this data that they're collecting, they're not only collecting how many fish are in there, they're also collecting the positions as well. So hopefully the data that we're computing here can go on to be used to create an automated system so that they can do this automatically rather than having to rely on us or even their own hired members to do this task. And yeah, just imagine if we had systems like this, which we could just like put a camera down and put a little box next to it, and then presto, you can count the amount of fish that goes up and downstream. That would just be amazing for biologists and all that, because that would make the job so much easier. And as you saw there, we're getting pictures where there's no herring. You usually just click none because, oh sorry, you just click done and then it goes away. Because there's none there, so what are we supposed to click? Now, if you're thinking of doing this project, a couple tips. You will often find like little areas here, like I'll give you an example. This is a very good example right here. So you see how you sort of find some light at the front and then some light at the back, and there's like a little circle in the middle which is just completely dark. That counts as one herring. So I usually place a marker on that. Some of the herring are very obscured, especially in the dark. And there is a tool that you can use, which they have down here, which is invert, which can try and help you, and yeah, might be able to help you identify which one's which. What's that? Is that? That's not supposed to be there. Okay. But yeah, some herring are very, very faint in the images, and sometimes it's really hard to find them. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're wrong with these. The one thing I like to say is that you have the power of the crowd. So let's say maybe for this one, there's obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fishes. Now, the thing is, some people might think, oh, maybe this thing down here is a fish, which it's not, which it's actually just a seaweed by the looks of it. And so you'll get, like, let's say 1,000. This is exaggerating highly, all right? You can imagine 1,000 people said 5 fish, but 100 people said 6 fish. So if you calculate the average, you'll find that it's around 5 fish. So they gather that average and they say, yeah, okay, so it looks like the people have determined that it's 5 fish. So even if you do get a little bit wrong, it doesn't matter, because in the end, the majority of the people would have gotten the right answer. Gonna have to wait for my tea to cool down. It's summer out here, so it's really hot, and drinking hot tea is not the best way to go. Whoa, look at this school of fish. Yeah, you get really difficult ones like this, and you got fish overlapping each other, and you got fish diving into each other, you got fish in the background, fish in the foreground. It's just a mess. Hey, that's the art of finding herring. Because these pictures were actually taken at the, what's it called? It's the Herring Run Hotel, if I'm not mistaken. That's in America, and they, I mean, as the name suggests, they're situated right next to the river where there's a whole bunch of herring that go up and down seasonally. That looks like about it. There is one fish there. You're also probably wondering how they can take images without like having to take a consistent video. And the reason, whoa, if you look closely there, that looks like one big herring right there, which like swam up to the camera. But yeah, as I was saying, the only time that these cameras take pictures is if they sense any movement. So most of the time it will be herring, so herring will be moving in front of the camera, and the camera will say, oh, there's movement, okay, snap a picture. But you get the occasional seaweed or something that moves in front of it, and just triggers the camera, so you get stuff where there's no herring. And it's a bit unfortunate, but oh my god, then you get stuff like this, where literally all of the fish are so faint. So you gotta really squint your eyes for this. But I'm used to it, so I sort of have like a sixth sense of like, oh, there's a herring there, there's not a herring there. And you usually get those sixth senses after doing the projects for so long. I have to put my head right up to the screen for this one. And I'll show you later with the muon project, because basically I just skim through them like so easily on the muons. I love my muons. And let me just check if there's any chats. Cool. You got people who want me, but I'm not going to talk to them on streaming. Alright. If you want to talk to me, come on the stream. I'll probably do a couple more and then I'll move to something else. I want to see if Virus Scribbler, whatever it's called, I forget what it's called, it's like Virus Factor or something like that. I want to see how much they've gotten past, because I used to like that project until you had to start scribbling mitochondria. And then it got boring. Yeah, the powerhouse of the cell. So yeah, I'll show you that project in a bit. Give me some more herring. There's nothing there. Whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I give up. Let's go back to projects. Where was it going? Etch-a-Skell, that's it. Did I just say Etch-a-Skell? It's Etch-a-Cell. Oh, it's too late here. Yeah, so they've done 87%. Well, we'll do a couple. Let's do like 2 or 3. So yeah, this is a drawing project. So this is where you go in and draw around things. And so we're looking for mitochondria, which, for example, one of them is here. Now, with these drawing projects, usually they give you slides. So this is like a 3-dimensional look into the cell, but displayed in a 2D fashion. So every single one of these is a different layer. So like from here, we're in the middle layer, and then we go upper layer and then upper layer. Because we're looking at cells, so they're 3D, and they say that sometimes it's hard to say whether, oh, are these two little things mitochondria on their own, or are they both connected? And so we'll have to go up the layers, or down the layers to check. Now it looks like they aren't, but sometimes they can be. And the reason for this is that mitochondria are not always perfectly looking. They're not always like little pill shaped like that. Some of them can be like bean shaped. So for example, the one that we saw there, it could be like a banana shape, and you're only seeing the 2 little tops of the ends when you hold the banana up like a smiley face. And yeah, so it looks like this. That's weird. There's this cell up here that doesn't look like a cell because it doesn't have a nucleus. But anyway, we got some mitochondria here. I have some very crude drawing skills. I did come on one time with my drawing tablet, and I did a lot of these because it's way easier to use a drawing tablet than to use your mouse on these ones. And often you have to be careful with these ones because with these projects they usually ask you to draw in the middle layer, so always make sure that you follow their instructions. Otherwise they're not going to get the correct data. Yep, I am a very crude drawer for this. I better stop it soon. Okay, that's a big mitochondria there. Alright, I think that's enough mitochondria for today. Because I hate my drawing skills. What should we do next? We can do a giraffe hunt. Oh, there was another wildlife project which I liked, which was just an African safari, but it looks like they've finished. Let's check if they finished. Most active recently. It should be here. Oh, hold on, finished. There we go. Yeah, let's see. No, it doesn't look like it's here. Higgs Hunters. I wish that was still on. Paused? Paused project? Oh, yep. Yeah, it's a paused project. Okay, so they're not taking any more data. They're not getting people to do it anymore. So they're probably processing or trying to change something in there. But yeah, these were the ones. It was Snapshot Venetia and Snapshot Tuwalu. Yeah, they were lovely African safari projects, and got some fun stuff out of them. Let's go back to active. Let me show you an example of an African safari one. The giraffes are pretty fun. So basically we gotta help the computer algorithm figure out where the giraffe is by pointing at, as it says, the top of its ossicones. So if we zoom in here, we can take a look at the giraffe. These are some very high resolution images, and they are taken by real people. Yep, they are taken by real people, and yeah, they're really good, high quality stuff. And so yeah, we got to point to the top of the ossicones, which are, as it calls, the horns. We have to point to the top of the head, and then we have to go to the indent where the neck meets the chest, and then the bottom front of the front hoof. So only if the hooves are visible, which in this case they aren't. So if you can't identify the hooves, then there's no need to identify them. Okay, here's another one, and it looks like the ossicones are obfuscated, so we're gonna do our best and just put it right up there. Top of the head, just behind the ears, I think it needs. Oh look, hold on, look closely at that, look at that. You got one of those birds that eat the little parasites off of them. And there's another one down there. Looks cute. Alright, yeah, I'll show you in here. Wait, no, in here. In here somewhere. Yeah, there you go. So, if it's side on, you get the between the ear and the ossicones, but if it's face on, you get the top right there. So, we sort of have that. Do we have the hooves? No, we do not have the hooves, but we do have the indent. Whoops, we do have the indent where the neck meets chest, which is right there, right in front of the bird. Just give me a sec. I just have to respond to someone here. It's an important one. Okie doke. Alright, let's continue. Right. Okay, top of the head right there. Ossicones, let's go right there. I like ossicones, it's a funny word. I hope I'm saying it right. It can't be ossicones. That just sounds stupid. And yep, we can't see the hooves. Often you can't see the hooves, it's a bit disappointing. Oh, we can't see the hooves on this one either. Alright, let's zoom in. Might as well place the indent right here. Move up. Ossicones right there. Top of the head right there. Bang. Done. Next. I think that's enough giraffes today. You get the idea of the African safari. How many... I want to know... how many they got left. Okay, so they're 67% done, so... they still need some more data to chew through. I need you guys to help with chewing through the data. Now, what else we got? I'll show you a bit of mapping historical skies. It's more of an artistic project, because you get to take a look at all the old artwork that they used to do about their things. I don't understand why they have so many classifications for this one. We got only 24% complete. This has been on for a while now. We can identify constellations or we can mark them. I prefer marking them because often identifying them is a little bit difficult. And then you come across some way you just can't identify them, so you look for different things. So, for example, I know this one, that's called Ursa Minor. This Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. Hold on. Let's see, they have a full field guide here, so you can come in and take a look. Always refer to the field guide, it's a very, very lovely piece of information. So yeah, Ursa Minor and Ursa Major. So, Ursa Minor, tail almost the same size as body. Okay, so no, that's Ursa Major. Okay, now within that, there seems to be a little crown with a heart on it. I assume that's some sort of constellation there. You have, I think, that looks like Libra, if I'm not mistaken. You have a serpent, and you have Leo right here. Wow, that was a terrible box. Absolutely horrific. There we go. Now let's make it just a bit bigger. There's no hurt making it a little bit bigger than that. I see Cancer right there. No, not the disease Cancer, the astrological star sign Cancer. Didn't you know it? There's also this here, but it's really obscure. I know I've seen that before, and I know I've identified it before, but not sure what to call it. Oh, these ones are funky. Honestly, I don't know what's the constellation there. I think that was like the snapshot of like the side of a bowl or something. That's some old ancient person embedded like stuff into it. There's a portion of Pisces right there. There's Aries right here. Let's just make that a bit bigger. Now, Andromeda, that's probably what it is. Oh no, hold on, no. Andromeda is the lady who is chained to something. You can see the chains right there. That looks like Capricorn, but it's the back side of it. I can't tell if it actually is. Oh wait, no, Capricorn isn't it half goat, half fish? I don't know. I've done this for too long. Now, I think this is a constellation because it is a man holding a sword with what looks to be a severed head. And so that is a constellation. I dare you to challenge me if it's not. That looks a little bit seductive. There's a peacock, and then there's a boy holding a whole bunch of arrows. I don't know what he's up to, but none of these look like any constellations that I know. Now, there's a ring on fire. I'm pretty sure that is one under the field guide. There's a big lady right there that looks like Libra, and also there's the scales right there. I don't know what's in the scales, it looks a bit interesting. We'll zoom in a sec. Oh, this looks like it's on like a little globe or something, and they took a picture of a globe. You can see like the little meter signals up there. Now, let's take a look at what's down the bottom here. No, I don't want to click that. I want to... No, okay. Okay, no, I don't think we're going to have any hope with doing that. So, sorry about that. Because it'll just move the box instead of the picture. Now, what do we got? We got a gnome-looking guy. Let me zoom in for you. Not here. I want to zoom in on the website. Okay, that should be good enough. All right, there's a triangle. That's Andromeda. There's a horse. I don't know what the horse's name is, but there's a horse. There's Aquarius. There's a dolphin for some reason. There's a harp. And that's pretty much it. I doubt any of you can see that. And I really don't want to look at it myself. So I'm going to skip that one. There's Ursa Minor. Or Major. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. And then we'll just take a picture of that guy as well. And what do we got here? We got Gemini. The two brothers, if I'm not mistaken. No idea what that is, but it looks like Canis Minor. Maybe. We have the Sextant. No, not the Sextant, the Sextant. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. It is not a sextant, but it is an instrument shaped like the sixth of a circle. So you figure out why it has the word sex in it and sounds like a sextant. But anyway, we found Cancer right there. We found the Serpent, Hydra, and that's about it. There's also a unicorn, which literally says, what does it say? Lacorne. So that's French for licorne. We'll put it in there. Might as well. So yeah, a lot of these are in French by the looks of it. Le Belvier. Hopefully someone's better at French in here. I think I'm just literally slaughtering it. La Corone. I'm Italian, so at least I got a little bit of it going for me. What do we have? That. La Vierge. That looks like the burning ring. There's 2 dogs right. Oh, that's a part of that one. Yep, that's a part of that one. That's one big one. Because I know there's one of them which is where a guy is holding 2 dogs or something like that. These are just funny things. I don't understand how people imagine these things. That's a quadrant. Yes, that is another one that's in the little repository there. Looks like we have Taurus. Typical Taurus. Oh god, I'm sounding like the people on TV. There's a person who's holding a snake. I love it because the people in the looking at the sky will say, "Oh yeah, you got this thing that looks like a man." Oh, but hold on, what's he holding? And then like just see a whole bunch of line of stars and say, "Oh, it's a snake." Yeah, it's got to be a snake. It can't possibly be maybe some weird looking sword or something like that. No, it has to be a snake. Man holding a club and what looks to be a severed head. That looks like a Hydra's head or something like that. Not a real severed head, but yeah, like a Hydra or mythical one. I think I've gotten myself into a little rabbit hole here. I'm gonna do this one and then I'm gonna get out because this one looks a bit interesting. It has like little instruments and stuff on it. It's a guy that... What are they called again? These ones, they're... my mind's gone blank. Half horse, half man. No, not a Minotaur. It's too late for this. Whatever you call them, I found one of them. Is my tea even cold yet? It's drinkable. Some weird taste about it. Oh, it's the vanilla. Oh, I've never had this one before. This is a new one. I'm smelling it, I'm like, why does it smell so weird? And then I realized it's got vanilla in it. I'm drinking Twinnings of London, chamomile, honey, and vanilla. Ugh. I don't really like it. I'm just going to use it to dip my biscuits in it then. Alright, let's move to a different project. I think I'll close it on my muons because I like ending it on my muons. I like my muons. What do we have? Actually, I'll do bash the bug for a bit. Considering we are talking about the coronavirus in the news. Or did I choose the 10 one? Let's see if they have another workflow with less of them. Okay, so what we're doing in here is we are identifying whether antibiotics actually work on certain particular bacteria, and so essentially have basically what the bacteria is supposed to look like, and then how the bacteria reacts to higher and higher dosages of antibiotics. So yeah, you'd expect as you increase the dose of antibiotics, the scope or the area that the bacteria takes up gets less and less and less. And so, which is what we see here. We see that the bacteria goes bigger and smaller, and then suddenly there's nothing there. Except for this thing at the end. If you notice at the end here, there's a little bit of contamination. Now, if I'm not mistaken, It asks us to sometimes contaminate. In other words, bacteria might start growing on one of the wells. If this doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it is fairly obvious, as only one or a few wells are affected, and the growth will look very different to the other wells. Alright, if you think there is contamination, please choose cannot classify. So, in that case, we have to follow the field guide to say cannot classify. Now, I like to be very, very specific with these. You don't personally have to. Again, power of the crowd. If you get it wrong, the majority is the chances are most of the people are going to get it right. And so in the end, the scientists are able to actually conclude something. Now, in this one, you look very closely. In well 4, you can see like a little speck. That's still a little bit of bacteria. Even though it went out in dish 2 and 3, it came back up in dish 4. Now, with this, it doesn't make sense, because as you give higher and higher dosages, eventually you'll come to a point where it just disappears, right? Well, yeah, and when you get this unexpected scenario where the bacteria starts popping up at higher and higher dosages, you know that something went wrong during this particular experiment. So, in that case, we have to click cannot classify. I like this project because I get to explain it a lot. Now, this one ends at 3, but you do notice there is a little bit of condensation here, but because the condensation doesn't obscure our view of it, it doesn't matter. That one ends at 2, 4, and so just to be clear, we are marking which plate has nothing on it. The first one from 1 to 7, which has nothing on it. So in this case it's 4. In this case there is growth in all of them. This one has contamination, cannot classify. That one ends at 7. And a funny thing, you don't often get it, but there is an option that, if you can see here, no growth in either of the no antibiotic wells. It's a rare thing to see no bacteria in the antibiotic cells, but it's happened, and I've had it myself one time, where there was actually nothing in there. It was a little bit funny, but I mean, it happens. It's just what happens in science. Not all bacteria will survive in a no antibiotic zone, so yeah, maybe they just cooked it for too long. There's number 4. That one pops up at the end. Cannot classify. And I think cannot classify just really it just skips it, but tells the scientist that someone viewed it. And so if that's the case, if you see like thousands upon thousands of people just skipping them, then obviously something's wrong with it. Let me just check my music, because I think it just paused. Yep, okay, there we go. How am I going to do this? Okay. Alright, that one ends in number 4. 7, but you notice there is a little bit of a speck there. That's probably just a bit of dust or something. All wells. Looks pretty cool. That looks like an animal, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks like a cow or a bear or something. Cannot classify that one. That drifts in and out, so God knows what's going on there. That one has a tiny speck in there, so I'm gonna go with all 7. That one's a cannot classify right there. Okay, and I'll do 2 more of these, and then I'll move on to muons. I always end on muons. I do them too much, so I like to keep them to the end. That one's got contamination on it. Plus it is getting really late here, so... And that's a cannot classify. That's classified. Alright. Let's go to muons. How are we looking for Contributions 4614 and now 4681. So we've done approximately 7. That's not 7, 70. 70 classifications. Alright, get started. So, if you don't know what a muon is, if you know what an electron is, it's basically just a really, really, really big electron. The thing is, it's not an electron, but I mean, it basically does the same thing, except it's huge. And in relative terms, it is extremely heavy. Like for something atomically, like subatomically sized, it is pretty heavy. And they decay very, very quickly. They're sort of like radioactive, but they're not exactly radioactive. When they decay, they just turn into electrons, which are practically harmless. I mean, to the everyday people, you're not going to get cancer from a muon. But yeah, currently there's no muons there, but I'll show you when we do find one. And what we're doing here is we're training a computer algorithm to select similar images so that they can avoid muons. So for example, I assume that the first image here is what the computer just randomly selected, and then it said, okay, I'm going to look for all the images that look similar to this. And so you'll notice that pretty much all the images here have a little bit of like radiation that hit the detector at the bottom of it, and all of them have it. And the great thing about that is that there are no muons, which means the computer can successfully sift out which ones have muons and not. Now you can probably see in here that there is a muon right there. It's a lovely little circle, and that's what we're looking for. Even if it's partial circles like this, usually those ones look like a muon. But you got to be very careful. If it's too straight, then it can become what's called a background gamma ray. See how these things are a little bit straight? You might think that there's probably a muon like peeking out of there, but no, it's actually a background gamma ray. So you got to be careful with that. But usually they give you easy ones, like that one's an obvious curve there. That one's a lovely curve right there. And we've got another curve here. And you can see the shortcomings of the algorithm as well, which is why they want to put this up here so that they can retrain the algorithm, make it better. None of muons here. And so as Toggleton said before, he likes brainless tasks. Well, this is my brainless task, because I've done it for so long. I'm not going to trust that one. I don't like the look of that one. And yeah, repeating again, don't have to be absolutely correct with this stuff. You can have leniency for errors. You don't have to be absolutely scientifically 100% correct, but at least try your best, and in the end the power of the crowd will succeed, and eventually you'll all come to a valid conclusion. Now I'm not sure if that's a muon that's hidden behind a background shower. These ones are fun. So it's a muon, but in the middle of it, it's come with like a whole bunch of different stuff, like gamma rays and protons and whatever else they got here. Yeah, protons, gamma rays. Yeah, nothing. Ew, that looks fun. I'm not gonna trust that because it's mostly straight. Now, there is one hidden right there. It's very faint, but you can see it makes a perfect circle. That looks like a perfect circle, but it's more like an orb. Muons, that one, that one, that one, that one. Wow. And so you would think that when it picks up a muon right here, that almost all the images will be muons, right? And yeah, probably. And that's why these buttons are here. And I've never actually had to use these buttons, so it's a bit disappointing. It's the only one there. Majority are not muons. Next thing. There we go. Whoa. I'm getting tired. Don't worry, we can keep chewing through. That one, that one. Oh, it's about to hit midnight over here. It's about to be the new day. Alright, none of that. Okay, we're just 3 viewers today. I mean, I get an average of around 1 to 5. I think the most I had was 7 at one point. Animeons. Alright. Yay, there's a big clear one right down there. Nanomuons. Nanomuons. I'm gonna give it 5 more and then I'm gonna call it a day. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm glad to be doing it. It is fun, even though I'm talking to myself. It's still pretty good. Oh, I thought I felt a mosquito on my arm. I'm not in tropical Australia, but I mean it feels tropical. Apparently we're getting thunderstorms tomorrow. Thank God. We need a cool change. Nanomuons. No, I don't want help. Nanomuons. There's a couple in there. And last one. Yay, we got some muons on the last one. 1, 2. That's all good. Alright. Let's go back and see how we did. So 4710. So yeah, we did almost 100 calculations, or classifications. So I find that I usually average around 100 classifications per hour. That's at least what I've found after doing all these streams. So yeah, I'm still keeping up with my average. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that comes to the end of my stream. I hope you enjoyed it. For those of you in America, enjoy your cup of tea in your morning. I'm gonna go lie down now because it's midnight. Yeah, check out Zooniverse.org. Feel free to ask if you want to join me in a voice chat or collaborate together on a future stream if you want to do Zooniverse together. And yeah, feel free to take a look at all my connections down below, and also I'll see about posting a link there to the YouTube channel that I upload all these to. But yeah, if you just search up, I guess Zooniverse Livestream Delta on YouTube, you'll probably find it, chances are. So anyway, thanks for staying, and yeah, have a good night. Or good day.